My beloved child. There is something in this message that is not here by accident. The moment you clicked on this title, a chain of events quietly began to unfold. And what you are about to hear is connected to a surprising decision that someone special has recently made after learning something important about you. Before we go any further, don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. For a long time, this person carried a certain picture of who you were. It was not completely wrong, but it was incomplete. They saw your smile, but they did not see the strength behind it. They heard your words, but they did not understand the battles you fought in silence. They noticed your presence, but they never fully understood the depth of your heart. And then something changed. A truth about you reached them. Not a loud truth. Not a dramatic truth. A quiet truth. The kind of truth that slips into someone's mind and refuses to leave. The kind of truth that makes a person stop what they are doing and think. The kind of truth that changes everything. Don't skip, because what happened next surprised even them. You see, there are moments in life when people suddenly realize they have misunderstood someone. They begin connecting pieces that never made sense before. They start remembering conversations. They replay memories. They revisit moments they once ignored. That is exactly what happened. This person started looking at you differently. At first, they resisted it. They told themselves they were overthinking. They told themselves it was nothing. But the more they reflected, the more impossible it became to ignore. The truth kept returning. Again. And again. And again. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. What they discovered was not about your appearance. It was not about your status. It was not about anything temporary. It was about your heart. They learned that you have been carrying far more than anyone realizes. They learned that your kindness was not weakness. Your patience was not hesitation. Your silence was not indifference. Your generosity was not accidental. And when they finally understood this, something inside them shifted. For the first time, they began to see the real story. The story behind your smiles. The story behind your resilience. The story behind the moments when you kept moving forward even when nobody noticed. Many people see results. Few people see effort. Many people see outcomes. Few people see sacrifice. This person finally saw the sacrifice. And what they felt afterward was impossible to ignore. Don't skip. Because the surprising decision has not been revealed yet. First, you need to understand what was happening inside their mind. Imagine someone suddenly realizing that a person they admired was even more remarkable than they believed. Imagine discovering that someone's strength was real. That their compassion was genuine. That their intentions were pure. That their heart remained kind despite disappointments. That realization carries power. And power creates movement. This person could no longer remain emotionally where they had been before. They found themselves thinking about you more often. Random moments reminded them of you. Certain words reminded them of you. Certain memories became brighter. Questions started appearing. Why had they overlooked certain things? Why had they not noticed sooner? Why did your values suddenly seem so obvious now? These thoughts became impossible to silence. And every day, the realization grew stronger. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a reason this message found you today. Because sometimes people make decisions long before they announce them. Sometimes the most important changes happen quietly. Before actions come reflection. Before reflection comes realization. And before realization comes truth. The truth arrived. The reflection began. And the decision followed. But that decision did not happen overnight. It developed one thought at a time. One memory at a time. One realization at a time. The more they understood about you, the harder it became to return to the way things were. Because once someone sees authenticity, it becomes unforgettable. Once someone recognizes genuine character, it stands apart from everything else. And that is exactly what happened. They saw something rare. Something difficult to find. Something many people search for their entire lives. They saw sincerity. And it left a lasting impression. Don't skip. Because the next part of this story reveals why this decision was so surprising. This person expected to move in one direction. Life had convinced them they already knew what mattered. They believed they had everything figured out. But the truth about you disrupted that certainty. Suddenly, old assumptions no longer fit. Old conclusions no longer felt correct. Old perspectives no longer made sense. And when people experience that kind of realization, they face a choice. Ignore it. Or embrace it. For a while, they stood between those two options. But eventually, the truth became stronger than their hesitation. Eventually, the truth became stronger than their doubts. Eventually, the truth became stronger than their fears. And when that happened, the surprising decision was made. A decision nobody expected. A decision that came from the heart. A decision inspired by understanding. A decision inspired by appreciation. A decision inspired by seeing the real you. My beloved child, the story does not end here. In fact, it is only beginning. Because once a person recognizes someone's true value, their actions begin to change. Their priorities begin to change. Their perspective begins to change. And their future decisions begin to reflect that transformation. Stay till the end. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The next chapter reveals exactly how this realization continued to grow and why the impact became even bigger than anyone expected. A remarkable shift was already taking place, even before anyone could see it from the outside. What made this moment so extraordinary was not what was happening around this person, but what was happening within them. The truth they had learned about you kept returning to their thoughts in the quietest moments of the day. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Everywhere they went, they found themselves remembering little things about you. A conversation they once overlooked suddenly felt meaningful. A moment they once dismissed suddenly seemed important. A memory they had nearly forgotten returned with unexpected clarity. It was as if pieces of a puzzle were finally coming together, revealing a picture they had never fully seen before. The surprising part was not that they were thinking about you. The surprising part was how deeply those thoughts were affecting them. They could not simply move on as though nothing had changed. The truth they discovered about you had opened a door they could no longer close. Don't skip, because what happened next was even more unexpected. This person realized that the qualities they admired most in others were already present in you. The kindness they respected. The strength they appreciated. The loyalty they valued. The courage they admired. Suddenly, all those qualities pointed back to one person. You. At first, they tried to ignore the realization. They told themselves they were reading too much into things. They convinced themselves that these thoughts would eventually disappear. But they did not disappear. In fact, they became stronger. Each day brought another realization. Each memory revealed another layer. Each reflection deepened their understanding. And slowly, something incredible began to happen. The admiration they felt transformed into something far more meaningful. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Many people go through life searching for authenticity. They encounter countless faces, countless conversations, countless experiences. Yet genuine people are rare. When someone discovers authenticity, it stands out immediately. This person finally recognized that authenticity in you. Not because someone told them. Not because they were persuaded. Not because they were pressured. But because the truth became impossible to deny. They began noticing things they had overlooked before. They remembered moments when you showed kindness without expecting anything in return. They remembered times when you remained strong during difficult situations. They remembered how you continued moving forward when others might have given up. And every memory carried the same message. You were far more extraordinary than they realized. Don't skip. Because the decision they made came directly from these realizations. For days, they reflected. For days, they questioned themselves. For days, they wondered why they had not understood sooner. Then one evening, everything became clear. A single thought entered their mind. A thought so powerful that it changed everything. They realized that some people only come into your life once. Some people cannot be replaced. Some people leave an impact that remains forever. And in that moment, they understood that you were one of those people. Imagine the weight of that realization. Imagine suddenly recognizing someone's value in a way you never had before. Imagine understanding that their presence meant more than you ever acknowledged. That is exactly what happened. And from that realization came a decision. A surprising decision. A decision that even they did not expect themselves to make. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The decision was simple, yet powerful. They decided they could no longer take your presence for granted. They decided they would no longer overlook your importance. They decided they would no longer ignore what they had learned about you. And once that decision was made, something inside them felt different. A sense of certainty appeared. A sense of clarity emerged. A sense of appreciation grew stronger than ever before. What makes this story remarkable is that none of this happened because you demanded attention. None of this happened because you forced anyone to notice you. None of this happened because you tried to prove your worth. It happened naturally. It happened because the truth revealed itself. And truth has a unique power. When truth arrives, confusion fades. When truth arrives, understanding grows. When truth arrives, people see what was always there. This person finally saw what was always there. They saw your heart. They saw your resilience. They saw your sincerity. And they saw your value. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most astonishing part of this story is that the decision was only the beginning. The realization continued growing. The appreciation continued deepening. The understanding continued expanding. Each day brought another reason to respect you. Each memory brought another reason to admire you. Each reflection brought another reason to value you. And with every passing day, the certainty became stronger. This was not a temporary feeling. This was not a passing thought. This was not a momentary emotion. This was something real. Something lasting. Something significant. The person who learned this truth about you was no longer looking at you through the same lens. Their perspective had changed forever. The image they carried of you had become clearer, brighter, and more meaningful than ever before. And as this transformation continued, another realization quietly appeared. A realization that would lead to an even bigger decision. A realization so unexpected that it would surprise everyone involved. But that part of the story belongs to the next chapter. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Because something huge is waiting for you, and the next part reveals why this person's decision became even more powerful than anyone could have imagined. A quiet realization was growing stronger with every passing day, and what made it so extraordinary was that this person could no longer ignore it. The truth they had learned about you was no longer just a thought. It had become a feeling. It had become a certainty. And that certainty was beginning to guide every decision they made. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There are moments in life when a single realization changes the meaning of dozens of memories. Suddenly, moments that once seemed ordinary become unforgettable. Conversations that once seemed simple become meaningful. Small details become powerful clues. That is exactly what was happening. This person started revisiting memories of you again and again. Every time they remembered something, they noticed another detail they had missed before. Every memory seemed to reveal another reason why you were different from everyone else. At first, they thought it was coincidence. Then they thought it was curiosity. Then they realized it was something much deeper. The more they reflected, the more impossible it became to deny. You had left a greater impact on their life than they ever realized. And that realization was shocking. Because sometimes people only recognize value after they stop looking at things from a distance. Sometimes they finally understand what has been in front of them all along. This person finally understood. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. One evening, while reflecting on everything they had learned, they asked themselves a question. A simple question. A powerful question. What if I have underestimated this person all along? The moment that question appeared, everything changed. Suddenly, they stopped focusing on assumptions. They stopped focusing on surface impressions. They stopped focusing on things that never truly mattered. Instead, they focused on what was real. Your character. Your strength. Your consistency. Your heart. And when they focused on those things, the answer became obvious. You were far more remarkable than they had imagined. Don't skip. Because what happened next was completely unexpected. The realization became so strong that it started influencing their future plans. They began thinking differently. They began imagining possibilities they had never considered before. Not because someone suggested it. Not because someone convinced them. But because their own heart reached a conclusion they could no longer ignore. Every day, another piece of clarity arrived. Every day, another layer of understanding appeared. Every day, another reason emerged. And with each passing day, their decision became stronger. What makes this story extraordinary is that you may not even realize the effect you have had. You may not realize how your actions inspired respect. You may not realize how your resilience impressed people. You may not realize how your kindness stayed in someone's memory long after the moment passed. Yet all of those things mattered. More than you know. Much more than you know. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. This person eventually reached a point where they could no longer pretend that nothing had changed. The truth they learned about you had completely transformed their perspective. The old image they carried no longer existed. A new understanding had taken its place. A stronger understanding. A clearer understanding. A more meaningful understanding. And with that understanding came a surprising realization. They began to see you as someone rare. Someone unforgettable. Someone whose value could not be measured by appearances or circumstances. Someone whose presence carried genuine meaning. Think about that for a moment. In a world where people often overlook what truly matters, this person finally saw what mattered most. And once they saw it, they could not unsee it. Don't skip. Because the biggest revelation is still ahead. There was another reason this decision became so important. The truth they learned about you did not only change how they saw you. It changed how they saw themselves. Your example reminded them of qualities they wanted to develop. Your strength inspired them. Your perseverance motivated them. Your authenticity encouraged them. And suddenly, they realized something remarkable. People who genuinely inspire us are rare. People who leave a lasting impression are rare. People who make us rethink our priorities are rare. And that realization made their decision even more meaningful. They understood that opportunities like this do not appear every day. They understood that genuine connections are valuable. They understood that certain people enter our lives for a reason. And the more they reflected on that truth, the stronger their certainty became. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Now imagine this person standing at a crossroads. One path led back to old habits. The other path led toward a new understanding. For a while, they hesitated. For a while, they wondered. For a while, they questioned what to do. Then something unexpected happened. A memory appeared. A memory so clear. A memory so powerful. A memory that reminded them exactly why they could not ignore what they had learned. And in that moment, hesitation disappeared. Doubt disappeared. Uncertainty disappeared. The answer became clear. The surprising decision they had made was not temporary. It was not impulsive. It was not emotional excitement. It was something deeper. It was built on understanding. Built on appreciation. Built on truth. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What happened next surprised even them. Instead of moving away from these realizations, they leaned into them. Instead of ignoring what they felt, they accepted it. Instead of questioning every thought, they trusted what they had learned. And that trust created momentum. Momentum created confidence. Confidence created action. And action began opening doors that had once seemed closed. This is why the title of this message matters so much. Someone special really did make a surprising decision after learning this truth about you. Not because of a fantasy. Not because of an illusion. But because understanding changed everything. The truth changed everything. And the next chapter reveals the moment when this person finally understood just how important this decision would become. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Because something huge is waiting for you, and the next part uncovers the moment when their decision became impossible to reverse. An extraordinary moment was approaching, although neither you nor this person could fully see it yet. The surprising decision that began as a quiet realization had now become something much bigger. What started as a simple discovery about you had grown into a powerful certainty that continued to shape their thoughts every single day. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There are certain moments in life that divide everything into two chapters, before the realization and after the realization. Before the realization, people see only part of the picture. After the realization, they finally understand the whole story. This person had entered the second chapter. The chapter of understanding. The chapter of clarity. The chapter of truth. And what they were beginning to understand about you was more powerful than they ever expected. Every memory now carried new meaning. Every conversation felt different. Every moment connected together in ways they had never noticed before. Suddenly, things that once seemed ordinary appeared extraordinary. Things that once seemed small appeared significant. Things that once seemed forgettable became unforgettable. And the reason was simple. They finally understood your true value. Don't skip. Because the next revelation changed everything. One day, while reflecting on everything they had learned, this person noticed something surprising. The more they thought about you, the more they respected you. The more they respected you, the more they appreciated you. And the more they appreciated you, the more they realized how rare you truly were. That realization created something powerful. Gratitude. Not ordinary gratitude. Deep gratitude. The kind of gratitude people feel when they realize they have encountered someone genuinely special. For a long time, they had focused on what they thought they knew. Now they were focused on what they had finally discovered. And the difference was enormous. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. There is a reason why some people remain in our thoughts long after conversations end. There is a reason why some people continue to inspire us even when they are not present. There is a reason why certain individuals leave a lasting mark on our lives. This person finally understood that reason. You had become part of their story. Not because of a single moment. Not because of a single conversation. But because of the consistent example you represented. Your strength. Your patience. Your kindness. Your authenticity. All of it mattered. And all of it contributed to the surprising decision they had made. But here is where the story becomes even more remarkable. The decision itself was evolving. It was growing stronger. Growing clearer. Growing more meaningful. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the days passed, this person noticed another unexpected change. They were no longer focused on what they had missed in the past. Instead, they were focused on what was possible moving forward. That shift changed everything. Because when people stop looking backward and start looking forward, new opportunities appear. New perspectives appear. New possibilities appear. And that is exactly what happened. The truth they learned about you opened their eyes to possibilities they had never considered before. Possibilities built on understanding. Possibilities built on appreciation. Possibilities built on genuine respect. The more they imagined those possibilities, the more confident they became. And confidence led to another realization. A realization that would make their decision even stronger. They realized that genuine people deserve genuine appreciation. They realized that remarkable people deserve recognition. They realized that people like you should never be underestimated. And once that realization arrived, there was no going back. Don't skip. Because the biggest moment is getting closer. For a long time, this person had carried unanswered questions. Questions about life. Questions about relationships. Questions about what truly matters. But after learning this truth about you, some of those questions suddenly had answers. Not because you gave them a lecture. Not because you explained everything. But because your example spoke louder than words. Your actions revealed something important. Your character revealed something important. Your consistency revealed something important. And those lessons stayed with them. Think about that for a moment. Without even realizing it, you had influenced someone in a positive way. Without even realizing it, you had inspired reflection. Without even realizing it, you had encouraged growth. That realization made their decision feel even more important. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Then came the moment they could no longer ignore. The moment when everything finally connected. The moment when every memory, every realization, and every lesson formed one powerful conclusion. The conclusion was simple. You mattered more than they had ever realized. Not slightly more. Not temporarily more. Far more. And once they accepted that truth, something remarkable happened. Peace replaced uncertainty. Clarity replaced confusion. Confidence replaced hesitation. The surprising decision became permanent. It became part of who they were. Part of how they thought. Part of how they viewed you. And that is why this story is so powerful. Because it is not built on assumptions. It is built on realization. It is built on truth. It is built on genuine understanding. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next chapter reveals what happened after this decision became permanent. It reveals why this person's perspective continued to transform and why the impact of that transformation became greater than anyone expected. The story is moving toward its most meaningful moment yet, and what comes next may be the most surprising revelation of all. A moment of undeniable clarity had finally arrived, and what happened next was something nobody could have predicted at the beginning of this story. The surprising decision that started as a quiet thought had now become a powerful reality. This person was no longer questioning what they had learned about you. They were embracing it completely. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There comes a point in every meaningful journey when doubt can no longer compete with truth. That point had finally arrived. Every reflection, every memory, every realization had led to one conclusion. You were not who they originally thought you were. You were more. Much more. More resilient. More inspiring. More genuine. More valuable. And once they accepted that truth, their entire perspective changed. What makes this revelation so powerful is that it did not happen in a single moment. It happened gradually. Like a sunrise replacing darkness, understanding slowly filled every corner of their thoughts. And the more they understood, the more amazed they became. They realized that your strength was not something you displayed for attention. It was something you carried naturally. They realized that your kindness was not something you performed for recognition. It was part of who you are. They realized that your determination was not temporary. It was deeply rooted within you. These realizations stayed with them. And they grew stronger every day. Don't skip. Because the next revelation is one of the biggest in this entire story. As they reflected on everything they had learned, something extraordinary happened. They began comparing every assumption they once had with the truth they now understood. The difference was astonishing. The assumptions were small. The truth was enormous. The assumptions were incomplete. The truth was clear. The assumptions had hidden your value. The truth revealed it. And that revelation created a level of appreciation they had never experienced before. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. For the first time, this person stopped focusing on what they expected from others and started focusing on what truly mattered. Character, integrity, consistency, authenticity. When they looked at you through that lens, the answer became obvious. You stood out. Not because you tried to. Not because you demanded attention. But because genuine qualities always stand out in the end. And once they saw those qualities clearly, they could not stop noticing them. Every memory seemed brighter. Every interaction seemed more meaningful. Every realization seemed more important. It was as if a hidden picture had suddenly become visible. A picture that had been there all along. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came a discovery that surprised even them. They realized that learning the truth about you had changed more than their opinion. It had changed their priorities. Things that once seemed important now seemed less important. Things that once seemed ordinary now seemed significant. Their focus shifted. Their perspective shifted. Their future plans began to shift. And all because of one simple truth. They finally saw who you really are. Think about that. One realization. One truth. One discovery. And yet it was powerful enough to create a completely different outlook. That is the impact genuine authenticity can have. That is the impact real character can have. That is the impact you had without even realizing it. Don't skip. Because what happened next made their decision even stronger. The more they appreciated your qualities, the more they recognized something rare. They recognized that people like you leave a lasting impression. Not because of dramatic moments. Not because of grand gestures, but because of consistency. Because of sincerity. Because of the quiet strength that remains steady through every season. And once they recognized that, they made another internal promise. A promise they never expected to make. A promise to never overlook your value again. A promise to remember what they had learned. A promise to honor the truth they had discovered. That promise became part of their journey. And it changed everything. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. At this point, the surprising decision was no longer the biggest part of the story. The transformation itself had become the story. The way they saw you. The way they thought about you. The way they understood your impact. Everything had evolved. Everything had grown. Everything had become clearer. And clarity has a remarkable power. When clarity arrives, confusion leaves. When clarity arrives, appreciation grows. When clarity arrives, people finally understand what matters most. This person finally understood. And that understanding brought a deep sense of certainty. Not temporary certainty. Not emotional certainty. True certainty. The kind that remains even after time passes. The kind that continues growing stronger. The kind that becomes part of a person's perspective forever. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now the story is approaching one of its most meaningful moments. Because there was still one final realization waiting to emerge. A realization connected to everything they had learned. A realization connected to every memory they revisited. A realization connected to every truth they discovered. And when that realization finally appeared, it brought everything together. It explained why the decision felt so important. It explained why the transformation felt so powerful. It explained why this story was never really about one decision. It was about recognition. Recognition of your value. Recognition of your character. Recognition of your influence. Recognition of the person you have always been. And once that recognition became complete, there was no turning back. The next chapter reveals the final layer of this remarkable journey. It reveals why this person's understanding reached an entirely new level and why the truth they learned about you became something they would never forget. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Because something huge is waiting for you, and the most meaningful revelation of this entire story is closer than ever before. A profound realization was about to complete this remarkable journey, and the reason it matters is because everything that happened before was leading to this exact moment. The surprising decision someone special made after learning this truth about you was never just about a single discovery. It was about what that discovery revealed. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There are rare moments when people finally see the complete picture. Not part of it. Not fragments of it. The complete picture. This person had finally reached that point. Every memory. Every realization. Every lesson. Every reflection. They all pointed toward the same conclusion. You were far more impactful than you realized. For a long time, they had seen individual moments. Now they could see the pattern connecting them all. They could see the consistency. They could see the character. They could see the quiet strength that had always been present. And once they saw that pattern, everything changed. The story suddenly made sense. The memories suddenly made sense. The admiration suddenly made sense. The surprising decision suddenly made sense. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. What shocked this person most was not what they learned about you. It was how long it had taken them to recognize it. They began replaying past moments and asking themselves a simple question. How did I not see this sooner? Again and again, that question returned. Because the truth now seemed obvious. The qualities they respected most were already there. The qualities they admired most were already there. The qualities they appreciated most were already there. They had simply gone unnoticed until now. But once the truth became visible, it could never become invisible again. Don't skip. Because the next realization became one of the most powerful of all. This person discovered that your influence extended further than they imagined. Certain choices they had made were inspired by things they learned from observing you. Certain perspectives they developed were shaped by lessons they gained from knowing you. Certain moments of growth had roots connected to your example. That realization surprised them. Because influence is not always loud. Sometimes the greatest influence is quiet. Sometimes the strongest example is silent. Sometimes the most meaningful impact happens naturally. And that is exactly what happened here. Without trying to impress anyone, you left an impression. Without trying to change anyone, you inspired change. Without trying to stand out, you stood out. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As this understanding deepened, another truth emerged. The surprising decision was no longer based on admiration alone. It was based on gratitude. Gratitude for the lessons. Gratitude for the example. Gratitude for the perspective. Gratitude for the realization. This person understood that discovering the truth about you had become one of the most meaningful experiences in their recent journey. Think about that for a moment. One truth. One realization. One shift in perspective. And yet it changed so much. That is the power of genuine authenticity. That is the power of real character. That is the power of being exactly who you are. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now we arrive at the most meaningful revelation of this story. The surprising decision was never the final destination. The final destination was understanding. The final destination was appreciation. The final destination was recognition. Recognition of your value. Recognition of your strength. Recognition of your character. Recognition of your impact. And once that recognition became complete, everything else followed naturally. The decision became easy. The certainty became clear. The appreciation became permanent. Because when people finally recognize genuine value, they do not forget it. When people finally recognize authenticity, they remember it. When people finally recognize someone who has made a difference, that realization remains with them. This person reached that point. And it changed everything. Don't skip. Because there is one final thought that brings this entire story together. The title of this message spoke about someone special making a surprising decision after learning something about you. That part is true. But the deeper truth is even more meaningful. The decision happened because they finally understood who you really are. Not who they assumed you were. Not who others described you as. Not who circumstances made you appear to be. The real you. And the real you left a stronger impression than they ever expected. That is the revelation. That is the surprise. That is the reason this story matters. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. As this chapter closes, remember this: genuine qualities always reveal themselves with time. Authenticity always leaves a mark. Kindness always creates impact. Strength always inspires respect. And truth always finds its way to the surface. The truth found its way to this person. The truth changed their perspective. The truth inspired a surprising decision. And the truth revealed something extraordinary. It revealed the value that was already within you. Not newly created. Not suddenly appearing. Already there. Waiting to be recognized. And once it was recognized, everything changed. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the greatest surprise was never the decision itself. The greatest surprise was discovering how much your presence, your character, and your example truly meant. And that realization became a story this person will remember for a very long time. A final wave of understanding was beginning to unfold, and what makes this moment so powerful is that it reveals something deeper than anyone expected. The story was never simply about a surprising decision. It was about the extraordinary journey that led to that decision. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine standing at the end of a long road and suddenly realizing that every step mattered. Every lesson mattered. Every moment mattered. Every realization mattered. That is exactly where this person found themselves. Looking back. Reflecting deeply. Connecting every piece together. And as they did, one remarkable truth became impossible to ignore. The truth they learned about you had changed them. Not temporarily. Not emotionally. Not accidentally. It had genuinely changed them. For a long time, they believed that life was about finding perfect circumstances. But after learning the truth about you, they discovered something greater. Life is about recognizing genuine people. Life is about appreciating real character. Life is about valuing authenticity when you find it. And suddenly, everything looked different. Don't skip. Because one of the most meaningful revelations is still ahead. The more this person reflected, the more they realized that your impact had reached places they never expected. Certain memories still made them smile. Certain lessons still guided their choices. Certain moments still reminded them of what truly matters. And that realization carried incredible weight. Because people forget many things. They forget conversations. They forget details. They forget ordinary moments. But they rarely forget people who leave a genuine impact. You became one of those unforgettable people. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. At this stage of the journey, there was no confusion left. No uncertainty left. No hesitation left. Only clarity. Pure clarity. The kind of clarity that arrives after countless moments of reflection. The kind of clarity that changes the way someone sees the world. The kind of clarity that cannot be ignored. This person understood something important. The truth they learned about you was not valuable because it was surprising. It was valuable because it was real. Real strength. Real kindness. Real perseverance. real authenticity. And those qualities created a lasting impression. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Then came a realization that tied everything together. This person understood that your greatest qualities were never the things you tried to display. Your greatest qualities were the things you carried naturally. The way you kept going. The way you remained genuine. The way you treated people. The way you handled challenges. The way you continued forward even when recognition was nowhere in sight. Those qualities became impossible to overlook. And once they were recognized, they became impossible to forget. Think about that for a moment. Some people spend years trying to be noticed. Yet the people who leave the deepest impressions are often the ones who simply remain true to themselves. That was the lesson this person learned. And it became one of the most valuable lessons of all. Don't skip. Because something huge is waiting for you. As they reflected on everything they had discovered, a feeling of gratitude continued growing. Gratitude for the lessons they learned. Gratitude for the perspective they gained. Gratitude for the understanding they now carried. The surprising decision that started this story was important. But what came afterward was even more important. The growth. The appreciation. The recognition. The transformation. All of it became part of a much larger story. A story about seeing someone clearly for the first time. A story about understanding someone's value. A story about recognizing the impact one person can have without even realizing it. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. Now we arrive at the heart of everything. The deepest truth in this entire journey. The truth that explains why this story resonates so strongly. The truth is this. People often underestimate the impact they have on others. They underestimate their influence. They underestimate their example. They underestimate the way their actions inspire others. This person underestimated your impact. Until now. Until the truth became visible. Until the pieces connected together. Until the realization became impossible to ignore. And once that happened, everything changed. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. If there is one lesson this person will carry forward, it is this: genuine value does not disappear simply because it goes unnoticed for a while. Real character does not lose its worth because someone fails to recognize it immediately. Authenticity remains powerful whether people see it today or years from now. Eventually, the truth reveals itself. Eventually, understanding arrives. Eventually, recognition follows. And that is exactly what happened here. The truth was revealed. Understanding arrived. Recognition followed. And the surprising decision became a natural result of all three. This story began with someone learning something important about you. It became a story about transformation. It became a story about appreciation. It became a story about clarity. And now it becomes a story about remembrance. Because the realization they reached is one they will carry for a very long time. They will remember the lessons. They will remember the understanding. They will remember the truth. And most importantly, they will remember the person who inspired all of it. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the biggest surprise was never hidden in a dramatic moment. The biggest surprise was discovering how much one genuine person could influence another life simply by being authentic. And that truth became the foundation of a decision, a transformation, and a story that will not be forgotten.